Stephen Hanley. We are the TAN group. Stephanie and Stephen are my group. And we cover chapter 5 in Friedman's book. And it's titled Help Wanted. He basically asks different people from different collars of employers what they look for. The 5 employers that he lists are the low-skilled white collar, the high-skilled white collar, the green collar, the Army, the blue collar, and the freelance workers. The white collar Indians is where he starts off. He starts off with outbound and inbound employers. The outbound are the people that call and try to sell you credit cards, and he says phone minutes. Basically, they're selling stuff. The inbound operators are the ones that are you talk to when you lose your luggage on a plane or you have computer problems. But out of India, and they do basic day-to-day work, and the improvements that they're trying to make in this area are the people that answer the phones, the tech questions. They're trying to include that with the people that do the data analysis. So what they're doing now is they're now employing PhDs and people of higher level education to work with the people who answer the tech calls to improve the quality of their service. The one person said in this book that if the status quo isn't challenged by your company, somebody else's company will challenge it. And they say that that's the most important thing, is improvement. They make changes 7 years. They've been doing this to try to increase the knowledge of their workers. Their key focus now is to train the people with better knowledge so one person can do more of a job instead of just answer a phone. He said the types of people that are employed now are ones that can answer the phones and do the data analysis, which is good for their business because that makes them the lead competitor. The future of this company, they're going to continue to hire educated people, and that's what they believe is the key of staying ahead, education. And that is pretty much the sum of this chapter. They want to be more innovative and have higher education. The white-collar American, he uses lawyers in this chapter to compare to. In the financial bind, the first one out in his example is the lawyers who do non-routine work very basically. They do it routine, they don't try very hard, and they're uncreative. The criteria for keeping a job, he says, in his example, is a lawyer who takes non-routine day-to-day life and finds a better way to do it, makes it more productive and very creative with it, find a better and easier way to do it. The Chief Innovation Officer was something that started with Nixon and Peabody. Their leadership programs which increase skillity with the company to recruit, coach, and inspire lawyers in this case to do it today's work with an inventive future perspective. It says the best provider for the future is not based on the past, but how one is adapted with the present and created and evolved to work with the future. And that, in his opinion, is being a pioneer. Best predictors for the future performance and the role of critical thinking all go back to the education role that he emphasizes in this chapter. Higher the education and the more innovative somebody is, the more successful they're going to be in doing what they do. He talks to the green-collar Americans, and the military's main focus yet again in this is more education. The education system needs to change. They said the availability of the technology they have now versus back in '03 is an enormous difference, and the threats are a big difference as well. They need higher educated people to handle the new technology. So the green collar, they want the responsibility of their leaders to increase. They want them to have higher education. They want the drill sergeants to change. They want them to be more educated as well. The use of wiki in the military, wiki is Wikipedia format, he wants to get the military up to par. Right now, all of their manuals are paper written, and they want to get them all to be on the computer. It's 21st century, so they want to create a different learning model, and in doing that, they want to be more educated as a whole. They start in the field. Trust is their prerequisite for creativity, and hold the same responsibility throughout. And they expect their drill sergeants to inspire, and they want everybody else to do the same. The blue-collar Americans, he asked several companies what they expected most in an interview, and all of them said the same thing. They all said presence. They want, when they interview an employer or when somebody is there working for their company, they want them to actually be there. They want to have presence there. They don't want people wasting time. They want people that are going to be there to do a good job, and they expect more than a high school degree. They expect education and experience. Carson's law is what he ends with in this chapter. It says, innovation from the top down is orderly but dumb. Innovation from the bottom up is chaotic but smart. He says companies around the world are using crowdsourcing, which distributed innovation, which they use to improve on their design, manufacturing, and selling of the product. And that's where the whole global term crowd comes from. They want more exposure to higher educated people, harder workers, just the whole economy. It's a hyper-connected world. Whatever can be done will be done, and he ends with the question, and he says, "Will what needs to be done by you, or be done to you?" And the summary of this whole thing comes down to more education and a better education.